secret agent man.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And good afternoon. Welcome to a Monday edition of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Now, a reminder, they are rebuilding the South Greeley Highway location. So, again, check out the Taco John's food truck. Matter of fact, I saw it parked over in the parking lot of the Outlaw Saloon. So, again, you can still have delicious Taco John's eats, courtesy of the Taco John's food truck over on the South Greeley Highway. Hey, we also want to thank Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Great prices right now, plus financing packages that are pretty doggone good as well. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field, and, of course, from Menards, Ray and Cindy's Place, where they invite you to check out their catering service, CheyenneChicken.com. Some new goodies on the menu right now from Chick-fil-A. Going to be here for a limited time, so check out all the delicious eats and treats from Chick-fil-A, open Monday through Saturday. Kia of Cheyenne, over on Nation Way, your home for the Kia family. From Soul to Forte to the all-new Telluride, even go all the way up to the Stinger. AJ and the crew has a great-looking group of 2019 Kias on the lot right now. And don't forget, bring in your current bucket of bolts because they want your trade-ins as well. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And when I say bucket of bolts, I definitely look at Nick's old car that he traded in when they gave him a hell of a deal. Platte Valley Bank, two banking locations for you. You will find the original location on Vandehigh and, of course, the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy with all your pharmaceutical needs. And, again, with your doctor's prescription, let Gene and his great staff fill those said medications, explain those medications to you. You can come inside, use the convenient drive-thru. They are there Monday through Saturday, Medicap Pharmacy. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather. The main auto repair center over on Dunn Avenue, and, of course, the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, offering right now a 3.1 annual percentage yield on a 27-month CD. So when you are shopping for certificates of deposit, remember, see First Tier Bank first over on Stillwater Avenue. And directly across the street, see my good buddy Joe Mondello, see Caesar, see the whole gang over there at Mondello's Pizzeria. Paisan cuisine at its best, 7 days a week as they prepare everything fresh. All dough is fresh. The sandwiches are fresh. The ingredients on your pizzas are always fresh. Good eats all the time, 7 days a week at Mondello's Pizzeria. Paisan cuisine, again, at its best. And we get things underway. It's our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go first over to Nick.
Well, local baseball from this past weekend will start on the road in Omaha, Nebraska with Cheyenne Post 6, as we will talk here in a few short minutes with at least manager Ty Lain about the weekend that was out there. But at least looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's contests, 3 games, 1 per day. Friday against Creighton Prep, unfortunately, it was a 4-0 loss for Post 6. Saturday against Brandon Valley, South Dakota, it was a close one, a 11-10 victory for Cheyenne Post 6. And Sunday's contest against Renner, South Dakota, it was a 13-5 victory for Cheyenne Post 6. With the at least weekend that was out in Omaha, Nebraska, with all the at least victories and the 2 losses, unfortunately, for Post 6, they are 30-13 overall. For Cheyenne Mustangs, they dealt with a little weather here in town at Powers Field, but at least with the Northern Colorado Border War that they had, looking at Saturday and Sunday's contest, Saturday, 2 contests. The first game, 9-1 victory for the Cheyenne Mustangs against Northern Colorado Silver. Saturday, game number 2 against the Thunder Academy, it was an 8-7 victory for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Sunday's lone contest against the Slammers, they unfortunately lost that game 10-4. So for the Cheyenne Mustangs, they sit at 13-15 overall. Unfortunately, as well for softball, for the Cheyenne Extreme, as we'll talk with at least Adam Galicia coming up tomorrow, they had a tournament set down in Colorado, but with the weather as well, too, out in this part of the world, it was canceled. So no contest for the Cheyenne Extreme. And then looking at collegiate baseball, we do have at least the final set up for the College World Series. Game 1 coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. You can see this on ESPN. Michigan will take on Vanderbilt.
Major League Baseball, 5 o'clock games. We'll have the Blue Jays and the Yankees in the Bronx. Mets Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark. It will be the White Sox and the Red Sox matching up at Fenway Park. Royals Indians at Progressive Field. The Bravos and the Cubs will hook up at Wrigley Field for this evening. Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, they will meet up at Chase Field. Right now, just 99 degrees in Phoenix. And Rockies Giants in San Francisco at Oracle Park as the Rocks make the trip up the coast as they leave the friendly confines of Dodger Stadium where it was 80-plus degrees. It's now 61 in San Francisco. John Gray will get the call for Bud Black. Drew Pomerantz on the hill for San Francisco. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too. This is the time of year you will see motorcycles riding around town and on the highways. All motorists are reminded to safely share the road with motorcycles and bicyclists and to be on the alert to keep these riders from harm. These could be your neighbors, your friend, or someone's mother or father. Motorcycles and bikes are cautioned to make themselves visible to other motorists. When you come to a stop, always look left and right before proceeding. This will help prevent an avoidable accident and will keep everyone safe. To all drivers on Wyoming roads, be mindful and vigilant. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today's sunshine, expect a daytime high of 73 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. For tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy with our low down to 47 degrees. For tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. We're calling for a daytime high of 77 with a chance for showers in the afternoon. And for Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Our low dropping down to 48 degrees.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today, Monday afternoon. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti, and we have our first guest in studio back from the lengthy road trip to Omaha, Nebraska. We have skipper Lain of Post 6. Coach, good to have you in, and as you mentioned, it's a good thing that you went east and the weather didn't follow you because
the weather did follow.
Well,
Again, there were postponement in the
but not as bad. But at least you got the tournament in for this weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was a good tournament. We had lots of rain, played through some rain, but with the full all-turf facility at Creighton Prep, it gave us an opportunity to get the whole tournament in, so we were lucky there.
So, again, as we went back to this discussion last week, talking about if we could have that wish list at Powers Field / Pioneer Park, what is the benefit of that all-turf field? What does it do? It rains, and then, you whatever you have to cover up, but once the rain stops, how long does it take to get on to play?
Well, with their facility, turf mound, turf plate, turf warning tracks, turf outfield, they have it all. So really, we don't even really have to stop playing it while it's raining unless it starts to get super heavy. And when it does get super heavy, nothing needs to be covered. There's a great drainage system put in underneath those all-turf facilities. And the second that the rain kind of slows down a little bit, we're able to just get right back out there and keep going. So we were lucky.
This was a big travel. Again, we're talking 450 miles to the east, not going down to Denver where it's 100 miles or, it's actually almost like making a trek up to Jackson per se. Again, with the guys, do you take off the night before? How's the travel plans for you and the squad? Because again, getting off out of a bus or car, whatever the case may be, these guys, for 6 hours have been on the road.
Yeah, usually we do go the night before. We did that when we went to Jackson earlier this year. With this tournament, they booked us in the late night game Wednesday night, so we had time to travel down there, then go check into the hotel and relax a little bit while we were there, and then get ourselves ready to go and head out to the field and play game one. And I thought we played pretty darn well in that first game, considering we'd been on a bus for about 7 hours that day, and came out and beat Bozeman, who's one of the favorites to win Montana in Legion baseball, and played well there through a shutout, and kind of got ourselves settled into the tournament.
And looking at that tournament, at least recapping, as you mentioned, one game, that Wednesday contest, 4-0 victory for Cheyenne Post 6. You focus on Thursday, taking on a Bryant, Arkansas team, as you mentioned last week as we talked with you. Very talented team, but you at least gave it your all. Unfortunately, again, a run loss, 2-1 advantage for Bryant, Arkansas. But again, a very talented outfit that you saw out there in Omaha. Friday as well, the lone contest against Creighton Prep, we knew that they are a good outfit as well. Unfortunately, that was a 4-0 at least loss. But at least Saturday and Sunday, positives did come after at least seeing those two talented teams. Again, both taking on two South Dakota at least teams. 11-10 victory on Saturday and Sunday's lone contest, 13-5 against Renner, South Dakota. So just kind of break down at least the team mentality, especially coming off those two back-to-back losses, back-to-back days against two talented teams, and then just kind of getting them focused for Saturday and Sunday where, hey, we still need to play some at least baseball and get back to, the kind of winning ways.
Yeah, for sure. We beat Montana, came out the next morning with a quick turnaround 8 a.m. game and playing a team who had been in the national title game a couple years back. So they're a very talented team. We had a 1-0 lead going into the 7th inning, and they tied it up 1-1, and we ended up throwing zeros back and forth. Got to the 11th inning where they walked us off there in the 11th to lose 2-1, and came back the next night and played another team that's been in the national championship game a couple times over the last few years. So and got shut out. So we were coming off of 11 innings and then a 7 innings, 18 innings there where we'd scored just 1 run, and we came back the next day and dug ourselves a big hole down 7-0, and our offense really wasn't doing much, and we kind of just regrouped at that point down in that hole and said, let's just chip away at this thing. We got a couple bleeders to fall, and then all of a sudden the offense kind of sparked and got going, and came back and found a way to win 11-10, and then carried that offense into Sunday a little bit. So I was happy with the way that we finished the tournament.
And looking at the schedule as well, too, for this tournament back in Omaha, where, again, as you mentioned, late night contest on Wednesday, 6:30, at least Mountain Time against Bozeman. You come out 7 a.m., or at least according to Game Changer, 7 a.m. against Bryant, Arkansas on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on Friday to take on Creighton Prep, and then Saturday, 3:30 p.m., Sunday, 1 p.m., and I think we talked about at least last week with the Cheyenne Mustangs manager Sheldon Baxter about the early morning starts, or at least kind of the the fluctuation of scheduling. Kind of give us your thoughts on that. Where again, you go from a late night contest on Wednesday to bright early in the morning on Thursday. Is there a factor, or would you like some sort of consistency, or is it something where you talk to your players and go, hey, this is what we got handed, we got to focus, and here's what we got to do?
Yeah, I kind of like the quick turnaround. It's tough. It puts a little bit of pressure on your team and builds some character for us. You finish that late night game, usually, all the restaurants are closed. You're struggling trying to find something to eat and get the guys into the hotel room and get them to sleep. And then, like you said, 7 a.m. in Cheyenne, 8 a.m. In Omaha for the start time. And, for us, we hadn't had much time to adjust to the time change. So really we're playing what feels like a 7 a.m. game to our guys. So we're getting out at the field at 5:30 in the morning. So quick turnaround. It's always tough to do that. But I thought we handled it well and gave ourselves a chance to win that game and battled those guys tough for 11 innings. And, it's things like that build character. You could be in the state tournament, and your hope is to get to that 2-0 game, and it's going to be a late night game. And if you end up losing that, you're going to have a quick turnaround the next morning. So good preparation for anything that could be thrown at us in the postseason.
And looking at it as well, too, at least my follow-up question, at least regarding this tournament, or at least kind of final, at least question, being out in Omaha, we know that College World Series is going on. Know that another Wyoming team, Gillette Rough Riders, were out there, a part of this tournament, too, where they mentioned that they were heading out to catch one of the College World Series contests. Was Cheyenne Post 6, was the team able to, at least when we had time, or at least a break between contests, did Cheyenne Post 6 get to also check out some of the collegiate teams out there in Omaha?
Yeah, we did. We were out at the Louisville-Mississippi State game where, Mississippi State had that lead going into the 9th, and then Louisville ended up coming back and walking them off. And that was an exciting game. And then some of our guys were able to go check out the Michigan game to get them into the national championship game as well. So the thing about this tournament is they kind of, those quick turnarounds give you long breaks in between, and I think they do that on purpose, so you have the ability to go out and see some College World Series if you want to do that. And it's always exciting. Our guys get to go watch those guys play, and it always seems to bring a little extra energy when we get back to the field.
Playing this tournament, did you see some comparisons to other teams that we'll face, in league as well as state tournament? And then again, too, fingers crossed we go back to the regionals. Did you see some comparison teams out there, whether it's pitching, whether it's fielding, whether it's hitting?
Yeah, there was great competition there, and ourselves and Gillette both represented the state of Wyoming very well. We came out of that, I think, with a 7-3 record maybe between the two of us. So a good weekend for Wyoming, good weekend for Cheyenne Post 6. Saw a lot of teams that could be making it into some deep postseason runs in the Legion tournament, and a lot of those teams don't know a bunch about Wyoming and left with some eyes open that there's some guys in Wyoming that can play.
We look at the the state up in Gillette. And again, this has been a good series between Post 6 and the Rough Riders. Gillette, no matter what happens, will qualify to go on to the regional. Now, if they win the tournament, similar to you last year, does that mean no one else will go?
That's actually will happen next season. This season, with it being in Idaho, it'll just be the state tournament champion will end up going to the regional. And for us, all 8 AA teams will qualify for state, and so Gillette will be an automatic qualifier for that, and we'll get to have that late night game opening up the tournament. And so, we're excited. There's a lot of good teams playing baseball in Wyoming this year, and it's going to make it a fun, interesting deal here at the end.
What did you gain? Again, every tournament, you as a skipper of this ball club, you learn more. I mean, you never know everything in this game. What did you learn about your team from this tournament this weekend?
I learned a lot about our competitive edge and our willingness to compete. It's never easy to come off of 2 games where we're really not swinging it well, and it's easy to cash it in and call it a weekend, and knowing that there's going to be 2 more very difficult games ahead of us in the tournament. And even in those losses, with things not going our way, our guys competed their butts off and never backed down, never gave up, wasn't intimidated by anybody, and that was huge, and I was proud of them for that. And then they find themselves in a 7-0 hole again, easy opportunity to cash it in and be done for the weekend, and they just competed as hard as they could and found a way to get back into that game and turn it into a winning weekend for us.
And it was a busy week last week again, starting Wednesday, finishing Sunday. You have at least today, so to speak, at least practice time, I'm assuming, or at least some chance to take a break. But, we get back in the thick of things with Cheyenne Post 6. But at least for tomorrow, a little home cooking for Cheyenne Post 6, as you've been on the road for quite some time now. But a game will happen over at Powers Field against Catalyst Cardinals. Again, the kind of at least alumni game coming up 6:30 tomorrow night at Powers Field. But also, too, Tuesday is also, too, a little special as well, early in the day for Cheyenne Post 6 with a nice little kids clinic happening for at least the youth here in Cheyenne.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be back home for a day, that's for sure. And we're excited to see the youth of Cheyenne, boys and girls, coming out and being involved in our kids clinic. We have that starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning at Powers Field. If you're planning on coming out, try to get there a little bit early and get yourself checked in, and we'll get it rolling right at 9. And 9 to noon there with those guys and our full program top to bottom working with those kids. And that's always fun. We'll come back and we're going to play a very, very good Catalyst Cardinals team. Hoping that we'll see one of their top end guys. I know they have a Division I signed left-hander that throws in the low 90s that could be fun to compete against. So we're excited about that opportunity, and then trying to get down to Denver for another good event this weekend.
And again, that at least Denver event does start on Thursday, goes all the way to Sunday. So again, another busy week for Cheyenne Post 6. Busy weekend last weekend, as I mentioned, as we talk with you, or at least kind of get that update, where we kind of, at least health-wise for Cheyenne Post 6, did we kind of get out of that tournament a little unscathed, hopefully?
Yeah, we did. We've had little bits of bumps and bruises as we go, but for the most part, we're healthy, and guys are starting to feel good and starting to play their best baseball, which is a good time of the year for that to start happening. So we're excited to just keep competing.
Ty Lain, manager of the Post 6 Sixers, and again, we appreciate him coming on in and chatting with us. We're going to take a timeout, come back. We'll introduce you to one of the players from Post 6, he being Jackson Hesford. We're back after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location, and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio Buys, heard only right here, features Svedka Vodka, 1.75-liter bottle, $13.99. Pepsi products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $5.49. And Bacardi Rum, light, dark, or limon, 1.75-liter bottle, $17.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today for a Monday afternoon. Larry Perlotti, Nick Perlotti. We welcome in Jackson Hesford. Matter of fact, know your pop. Pop's a football coach, and I'm sure he's an instructor, if I'm not mistaken, out of Cheyenne East, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, you are from you're a product of Cheyenne East right now. You just finished up your sophomore year, getting ready to move on to your junior year. But real quick, you're here talking about Post 6 baseball, and with that being said, what positions do you play?
I play in the outfield.
Are
so
you
left
one?
fielder.
Is that your? If you had a preference, would you rather play left or wherever coach throws you?
Wherever coach throws me.
Just as long as you're playing, right?
It's kind of the common theme with most of these players of, hey, I'll accept that position at this point in time. But at least given your background for Post 6, Jackson, how long have you been with at least the Post 6 family?
I've been with the Post 6 since 7th grade.
So 7th grade, I'm assuming for baseball-wise, probably play T-ball, junior league. So, again, it's kind of been in your blood, and you've been at least focused on that. For at least baseball, is it, again, obviously you have time right now to figure out your future plans. Obviously, you still got Cheyenne East to focus on getting through high school. But has baseball kind of been on your radar of that's what you want to do in the next level? Is that something is kind of your main focus right now?
Honestly, I have no clue yet.
All right, fair enough. Again, you got plenty of time. As we learned, again, you're a Cheyenne East product, getting in your junior year. What other athletics beside baseball do you do for the Eastside Thunderbirds?
I play football, and I also wrestle.
Jackson, as you mentioned, you're an outfielder. And again, I'm glad that you mentioned that you wrestle and play football. So I'm assuming that you're in the weight room a little bit to strengthen yourself up. Again, do you do special arm type of exercises to make sure that cannon is strong going into second base?
Yeah. We have weights every morning during the summer, and then we have weights class during the year too, so that really helps a lot.
So, as you're playing with Post 6, and again, you see the major leaguers, and I know fundamentals are big with Post 6, so I know that you're trying to hit cutoffs or, you're trying to get that thrown to second or third base. Do you feel you got that hose to get you all the way from left field to home plate on a dime?
Oh, I'm still working on it, of course.
Still working on it?
Yeah.
I was just looking at you guys make sure they hit cutoffs, right? Yeah, oh, yeah, cutoffs are part of the drill. All right, so anyway.
At least talking about Major League, as we asked every player, and we'll ask you as well, too. At least Major League Baseball team, who do you got? Who's your favorite?
Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, so again, at least player-wise, Brandon Nimmo. So a Mets fan, I'm assuming then? All right. So
no, just
you like
a Nimmo fan.
You
Okay.
like Nimmo, and that's a good choice, especially from the outfield side. But which team do you support?
Minnesota Twins. My dad grew up liking them, so it just carried on to me. So.
Well, that's fine because I'm a former Bay Area guy, and guess what team we like?
Minnesota Twins.
No, the Giants.
Oh.
San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I should
California
have helped myself out there.
But I think he's again the new product where we've had pretty much every team aspect from at least post 6 of at least some new answers, so to speak.
What do you when you watch a baseball game? And again, you go there as a fan. I know because I go as a fan too. But do you watch the outfielders and what they're doing out there and how they set their feet or put their arm out as they get to the warning track, before it gets to the fence? I mean, do you watch those little nuances that they bring to the table?
Yeah, all the time. It's crazy what they do.
So what other things do you do to make yourself a better outfielder?
Listen to what Coach got to say.
Okay.
Fair enough. I think that's at least perfect answer right there. Heading into this season with Post 6, again, as you have plenty of time with this baseball program to do and get kind of scouted and figure out what you want to do for your future plans. But for this season for yourself, did you have any goals in kind of working on fundamentals, working on hitting, getting, maybe reads at least a little bit better? Did you have any goals for this season?
I just want to win. I want to win state.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Jackson. Well, we do appreciate you coming on by and chatting with us. We wish you all the best and continued success with Post 6. And hopefully when we get a chance next season, we'll have you back in here again as you'll be heading into your senior year at Cheyenne. So when you play football, what position do you play when you're playing football?
I'm a receiver.
Wide receiver, good.
Yeah, so we'll be talking, or at least calling out his name here in about, 2 months?
Well, he'll be live on YouTube as well as Periscope via Twitter, huh?
Nice little promotion there.
Yeah, thank you very much. I got it right the first time. All right, Jackson Hesford along with Coach Lain. We thank them for joining us here. It was Post 6 Day once again on 1480 KRAE. Back after this timeout. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the day at Taco John's.
This is the time of year you will see motorcycles riding around town and on the highways. All motorists are reminded to safely share the road with motorcycles and bicyclists and to be on the alert to keep these riders from harm.
These could be your neighbors, your friend, or someone's mother or father. Motorcycles and bikes are cautioned to make themselves visible to other motorists. When you come to a stop, always look left and right before proceeding. This will help prevent an avoidable accident and will keep everyone safe. To all drivers on Wyoming roads, be mindful and vigilant. Paid for by federal highway safety funds. In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, sunshine. Expected daytime high of 73 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. For tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly cloudy with our low down to 47 degrees. For tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. We're calling for a daytime high of 77 with a chance for showers in the afternoon. And for Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Our low dropping down to 48 degrees.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Get a chance now to talk some baseball. Do want to mention, and first off, say thank you again to Ty Lain, Jackson Hesford for joining us here in hour number one. Hour number two, we're going to get a chance to talk with Chad Mathews, who is the rodeo chairman for CFD. So we'll get his thoughts on, I don't want to say it's a brewing controversy, but, you know, we've got one side saying this, and we've got, you know, CFD saying that. So we're going to, chat about what's happening. I don't want to make it controversial, but
it's not. Again, is it controversial? It is something to talk about, but it is a situation where for Cheyenne Frontier Days and something we talked about last week. And again, in my opinion, about this situation with the steer ropers, at least those competitors. Again, with them protesting, where with the tournament style, they're not happy with the payouts, where they believe that more money should be at least paid out by Cheyenne Frontier Days, especially with the advertising, with the TV deals, blah blah blah. Again, they have the cash flow to, at least in their opinion, to pay out the competitors. It is something where, hey, you have the right to protest. Is CFD going to do anything about it? Probably not. Again, there are going to be competitors down the rung who are going to be chomping at the bit to go, okay, well, if you're not going to compete, I'll gladly compete at that and become the new number one, so to speak, coming up in Cheyenne Frontier Day. So it'll be interesting to hear his thoughts and just talk about kind of the happening, at least with the radio event, as we are about, almost a month away at this point. Before we know it, Cheyenne Frontier Days will be here.
Yeah. Danny Lamal once again here in good old Cheyenne. All right, let's step away from the sport of rodeo, which we'll get hot and heavy into coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Talk some baseball where when we had Chris in here last Tuesday, and you and me basically just said, here's the West, and run away with it and hide, and I think the Dodgers are going to do that right now. Rockies, all 3 games at Chavez Ravine, competitive, got good starting pitching. I think you'll agree with me on that. But they were beaten by the Farm.
They're beaten by a better team.
They're beaten by a better team, but this is what
you're beaten by a better team that has lost 9 times.
I know, but this is what your farm system is with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Verdugo, Will Smith, Beatty.
Guess what? It's a better farm system than what Colorado has at this point in time. We're right now with the Dodgers getting that sweep over the Rockies. They're 13 games above, or at least 13 games ahead of the Colorado Rockies, who sit second place. They're in the NOS. I still stand true with my prediction that LA is going to win that NL West. in Colorado, their only shot right now is the wild card, which right
those
now
3 losses didn't help.
It's certainly not going to help, but a lot of games still remaining. But the interesting thing is you look around Major League Baseball, only one division, and that being the NL Central, where you might see 3 teams competing in the postseason. There's a good possibility. Don't give me that because
they're going to beat each other up here coming up in September.
We'll see about that. Again, we'll get the real test coming up in those dog days. But you look at every other division outside of the American League East, even though New York is ahead of Tampa Bay 4.5 games. Right now, for baseball, at least for division races at this point in time, and we're approaching the halfway marker, if not kind of at least a little bit past it, you pretty much have your division winners, it seems like, already locked up at this point. Again, we're the West right now, with the Dodgers having, 13-game lead. Out in the East, it's getting a little out of hand, where Philadelphia having a bit of an issue where they're on a 7-game losing streak. Go figure that.
Astros snapped a 7-game losing streak yesterday.
If you'll let me at least break down the NL East, again, 6.5 games back is Philadelphia against Atlanta. Houston, as you mentioned, they're 6.5 against a Texas Rangers team, where I am very surprised that they're even competitive right now in the AL West. But, again, Houston breaks their streak. They were 3 of 7 for their last 10 games. Winning yesterday, but again, they still have a comfortable lead after kind of a rough 10 games. Go figure in that one. The Central, I think, is already wrapped up, where Minnesota 8 games ahead of Cleveland. The rest of the AL Central is just pathetic. Minnesota should wrap that thing up. And again, the other one that's somewhat competitive is the American League East, but you have a feeling, especially now with the Yankees getting Judge back and you get some pieces back healthy that they are right now, this team might fire on all cylinders and start kind of pulling at least a L.A. Dodgers move of, hey, the rest of the AL East, you got no shot.
They need more pitching. And that's where you start thinking names like Mad Bum, Scherzer. The Yankees have the cash to buy these guys and pick up the remainder of contracts. So, obviously, the Giants are going to be listeners.
I still think that the Yankees,
the
Yankees, they will be buyers. I would not be surprised in what they go after. Again, that's to be determined. They're not going to stand pat, but Yankees right now they are becoming a healthy team with a lot of their scary names up there. Again, the big bats, big defensive, at least position players. The Yankees right now, as much as it's a competitive division, so to speak, at 4.5, at least lead for the Yankees, I think they're going to turn on the afterburners and pull in L.A. Dodgers and just say, hey, the rest of the AL East, bye-bye.
Right. Well,
you're well in the rearview mirror.
And I think Houston needs to protect Justin Verlander. So, again, I throw names out, Mad Bum, Scherzer. There's going to be a bevy of starting pitching that's going to be available here. Hired guns.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing a lot of movement yet because the trade deadline is the end of July. But I would say over the next couple of weeks, phones are going to be ringing and uniforms are going to be changing.
Well, again, pieces have already been moving across MLB. It's a slow crawl right now, or a slow process, but teams have been doing just exact that. You look at the Yankees, again, making that move with Encarnacion, getting him out of Seattle. There was one piece that they addressed and got him, especially where, it's a nice additional bat, or at least a good piece for the Yankees, just in case, again, where this team has run into some interesting injuries throughout this season. So, hey, here's a nice little backup just in case, or at least you can give us some quality time
you got
for
the top
rest.
home run hitter in the American League right now.
Yeah, right now, it's just amazing to see of where we are here at this point in time for MLB, that, you have one division that is at most competitive, and that's the NL Central. The rest, it almost feels like no one really has a shot. Except for at least winning the division. It almost seems like it seems like you have 5 divisions wrapped up and one's competitive, and the rest of the league has to focus on 2 wild card spots.
I think the East is still within grasp.
I really don't think so. I don't think, again, you're going to see New York go in a different height, go in a different level, where they're going to start expanding that lead away from Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay has the depth, has the arms, has the talent, has the bats to keep up with the New York Yankees as we get into the dog days of summer. Again, get towards the downhill slope of this 162 season. I just don't see it out of the race. Boston, they're 8 games behind the New York Yankees. That is surprising for me. I don't think the Red Sox have a shot of winning the AL East or being competitive with the Yankees. I really think that other than the NL Central, every other division, it has a feeling that they've pretty much wrapped up. You have your division winners right now.
I think the only thing that is for sure right now, in my opinion, is the Dodgers winning the West. Other than that, maybe the Central and the American League with the Twins. Will they go the rest of the way? Probably. Cleveland's not all that. I'm really disappointed in Cleveland. They're just not all that impressive this year. I still think the National League East is still up for grabs, obviously the Central. And I think the West and the American League, depending on what Houston does before the trade deadline. And again, do I see Mad Bum going to Houston? Pretty much. I think that
Do we even see, again, the question is not what teams, again, teams are going to be tossed out, or at least those trade talks are going to be at least mentioned for Madison Bumgarner. But right now, there's stories out, and also, too, there are rumors abound regarding Madison Bumgarner where Giants are starting to realize that his trade value right now, especially of what the season has been in the past couple of seasons, a guy who is starting to get a little injury prone, or at least starting to run into that bug. Right now, his trade value is not as high as what the Giants were expecting and wanting to get out of him. So is it for the Giants worth it to move on with Madison, where you're not going to get, it's
You're
almost
gonna get prospects, probably.
essentially, again, you're trading in a used car where, hey, you get the blue book value. It's not going to be anywhere close of what you expected, and you just got to deal with it. But for the Giants, is it worth it? A guy who is committed to playing for the Giants, a guy who says he wants to play out his entire career for this team, who's done so much for the Giants. It'd be interesting to see if the Giants, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just say, Madison Bumgarner, we're happy with you here. Don't want to trade you. Sorry we tossed out your name, but I think we're going to just keep you on.
So when he goes in for contract negotiations next season, Nick, you going to give the guy a raise?
I don't think so.
I say since 2014, he really had, I'll even go to 16.
I would hope he's a player.
The last
Again,
3 years, he's not done
humble.
well.
The guy is, I would assume, a humble player. You listen to him in interviews. I would think that he would get that evaluation and realize that he's going to have to take a pay cut. And if anything, that might be good enough motivation for him to kind of revamp and respark his career, or at least focus on, hey, I need to get better and better myself. But Madison has committed, again, no matter the best or worst possible outcome, he has said that, hey, I want to be with this franchise. So the biggest question right now is, and I think in the free agent, or at least in the trade possibilities for MLB, will Madison Bumgarner even be traded? It's not necessarily of what team is he going. I think it's still on the fence right now of, will the Giants even commit? Will they get that, what they are expecting from Madison Bumgarner is, people are saying that they're not, or they're not even going to get close of what they want. Is this Giants front office going to even pull that trigger? Is, I think, the biggest question right now, at least as we get close to the trade deadline, of will he just stand pat with the Giants and just continue with this team?
I think right now you go after a Mad Bum. I think Madison Bumgarner needs a change of scenery. I really do. Again, he's 113-90 in his career with San Francisco, all with San Francisco. Right now he's 3-7 this season, 4.28 ERA. Again, the trade value is not going to be great, but again, he's a starting pitcher who's got numbers. Again, 113-90 and a career ERA of 3.10. I think the American League is going to be wooing him. I think Houston and the Yankees are going to be, and again,
I wouldn't doubt there's already been trades proposed by teams at this point in time to get it. Again, his name has been talked about being traded since spring training, if not even later than that in the offseason.
I wouldn't even doubt that St. Louis has cash too, that they may throw their name in there as well.
Like I said, I think teams have already committed trades, or at least put out possibilities for Madison Bumgarner to the Giants. I would not be surprised right now, because teams are licking their chops and going, all right, he has good potential, and we know what his stuff can be if he's healthy and he's on fire, and what he can do, especially in the postseason, where we saw in 2010, 2012, and 2014. But again, he is an injured prone guy right now. Again, ran into a little bit of at least the ridiculous accident out in Denver with the ATV accident, running into a few at least
and that
arm
was when
issues.
He was at the heart of that. He was at the height of his career at that time. If you think about it, he was not.
It feels like after the ATV accident down there in Denver,
He's never been the same.
Yeah, it almost altered him as a pitcher, altered his career of whatever happened post surgery, post rehab. He's not been the same since that accident.
And then that spring training, the last game of the spring training with Kansas City, and he takes the shot off the pinky finger.
Yeah.
And again, he was rehabbing very well for the Giants. He was having a great spring up to that point. Yeah, he's not been the same. You're absolutely right, since the ATV. Then you look at a guy like Max Scherzer, who right now is, he's 34 years old, 165 and 87 for his career. Obviously, better numbers than Mad Bum, 3.19 ERA. Currently, this season, he's 6-5 with a 2.62 ERA.
Which is not bad for the Nationals.
And the Nats are sellers. But you know what? Right now, Scherzer has more value than Mad Bum does.
Oh, absolutely.
So, again,
if I'm Yankees, if I'm Houston, if I'm whoever at the top, maybe even an LA Dodgers team, if you really need to bolster that starting pitching, or at least to kind of go, hey, now we got an extra guy here to bump whoever you want to and go, hey, here's this kind of death lineup, or at least starting rotation for the Dodgers, Yankees, whoever it may be. Yeah, I think for Scherzer, he's got to be your number one guy over at least teams going, hey, I'll give you the farm. I'll give you this because I need him. I need him, or at least I need this piece to get me to the postseason, clinch this division, and hopefully get us to the World Series, because we know Scherzer is a very, very good pitcher. Still has stuff even as he's aging a bit. He is that kind of wily veteran where he's got to be at the top of the boards right now for those top teams to go, yeah, I'll gladly work out some sort of deal to get this guy.
And the guy that actually has picked up in trade value in his last couple of starts is Schmarzda from the Giants. And again, there's another guy that, the Giants are paying big bucks to, that they're willing to part with him. And wherever he goes, power to him. I think he'll be better off. I look at all of this right now, and you mentioned the Dodgers, and watching that series, I watched all 3 games this weekend, and I'm asking myself, where are the Dodgers weak? Starting pitching? No. Defensively? No. Is their bullpen?
Their bullpen's probably your issue, or at least maybe closers.
But it's not Achilles' heel. I mean, their bullpen at least.
It's solid, but yeah, it's not killer or detrimental like Colorado has with their bullpen, where it would cost games, or at least in the postseason, be very at least crucial in moments. Dodgers are a pretty solid and solidified team where you have to assume at this point in time, where we look at Vegas odds for everything, that Vegas, whatever sportsbook out there, has got the Dodgers of at least very high favorites to win the World Series. They are a team where you look up and down from not even the National League, but the entire, at least the league of Major League Baseball. What team's going to be competitive with the Dodgers at this point? Will it be Minnesota out of the AL Central? Sorry, no, I don't see it. They're a special bunch, but I think they are too young to probably take down if they were to make it to the World Series in that battle. Do I believe the Yankees could compete with the Dodgers?
Yep.
Possibly.
Depends
but I still
on
give that edge over the Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers have at least better starting pitching, better at least.
I think the Yankees are better hitters. I think they've got more.
Dodgers could be competitive on hitting though.
Yeah, but the Yankees got the better power. They can beat you. Again, you've got Encarnacion, you've got Stanton, you got Judge, you got Gary Sanchez. You got 4 killers right there. All you really have, and again, and it's not taking anything away from the Dodgers, okay? You got Bellinger as your most consistent hitter. Muncy has picked up his value. Turner's not the home run hitter that he once was. He's more of he's a good, solid 300 hitter. We, go up and down the lineup there. Kiki Hernandez is not going to get you home runs. Beatty's not your big home run hitter. Catcher's not their big home run hitter. I'm trying to think. Their shortstop is not their big home run hitter. The Yankees could beat you with one swing of the bat. That's the scary part. And you sit here with the Dodgers.
I mean, the Dodgers can too. They have power. Let's not sell the short. They are they're not a small ball team.
No,
it's a team that does have power throughout that lineup that can be very good. Again, as you mentioned with Bellinger, Bellinger could be that.
I'm more afraid to face the Yankee lineup than I am the Dodgers.
For me, I in watching both teams and just at least getting looking at the stats and the at least analysis of both teams, I give the advantage to the Dodgers. At least on that lineup.
And here's where it would make sense for the Yankees. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that they are World Series bound, just for argument's sake.
Well, I think
it would make sense for them to go after Mad Bum. They need a port cider. Because, again, if you're going to face the Dodgers and a guy like Mad Bum, you'd want him at least out there 2 starts.
It's not going to happen. Let's be honest with that. That is not going to be a situation. Dodgers, Rockies, whoever in the NL West, you're not getting Madison Bumgarner. There's no way that the Giants would be that ridiculous to do something like that to kind of anger that fan base.
He'll go to the American League. I would figure it's going to be his stop is going to be Houston or the Yankees.
If it happens. Right now it is up to the Giants of what they want to do, and have the Giants at this point have second thoughts about this trade talk and trade rumors regarding Madison Bumgarner, and that's what kind of reports are showing right now, that they are kind of backpedaling a bit of going, well, he's not worth of what we wanted, so is it worth to trade him at all at this point in time? But as you look, again, for the Dodgers' route to get to the World Series, where I think right now they have a pretty decent route to get to the World Series, looking out of the National League. Again, Atlanta, will they be competitive against the Dodgers? I don't see it. I really don't.
Hell, they just sent their all-star Fultonevich down to AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, they're having some pitching issues right now in Atlanta.
Chicago's had
Milwaukee's having
Chicago had, again, for their starting pitching, a bit questionable. Leicester having a bit of issues. Again,
Milwaukee's not mowing them down either.
Yeah, Milwaukee. You look at other, again, potential wild card teams, whether it is Philadelphia, at least the Nationals, at least Colorado Rockies. No one right now is showing an easy route, or at least a formal outfit for the Dodgers to slow them down to the route to get to the World Series.
Well, and you're also looking at like the Cardinals, and the Cardinals last night, their starting pitching was just abominable, even their bullpen against a very weak Angels team. So, again, a Mad Bum could be headed to St. Louis as well, because, again, they've got the money. That's one thing that the Cardinals have, and you can see it all the times with their fans. They're drawing 40,000 plus every time the Cardinals are in town. They've got the cash.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Again, St. Louis is probably one of your most passionate fan bases of all, at least Major League Baseball, in respect to them, especially of what they did this past, at least weekend series with the Angels in town, including with also too with one Albert Pujols of kind of his swan song over this as we got the dog barking.
All right, we got Jada the Wonder Dog back with us. Yes, Isaiah is now my official dog. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back with more after these words on 1480 KRAE.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio Buys, heard only right here, features Svedka Vodka, 1.75-liter bottle, $13.99. Pepsi products, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $5.49. And Bacardi Rum, light, dark, or limon, 1.75-liter bottle, $17.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Again, Joe and the gang invite you to come on by and enjoy delicious Paisan cuisine 7 days a week. We also want to thank our friends over at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Banking done the old-fashioned way, customer service always first and foremost. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather for a quarter century. They have been repairing them and taking good care of them. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs, same location as always, not their first rodeo, so to speak, over on Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you. See my good friend Rick and the gang over on Vanda High. And again, they offer banking the old-fashioned way. They offer banking the high-technology way. Everything in between. Hey, you might want to talk to them about a HELOC, or if you are planning to get the new home loan or maybe an auto loan, Platte Valley Bank has the perfect loan waiting for you today. Vanda High Avenue, and again over at the corner of on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. My good friend AJ and Greg and the entire crew over there invite you to come on by, check out the 2019 model year. Some great looking Kias on the lot. They want your bucket of bolts as a trade-in, so make sure you are trading in your old for the new, the good looking Kias over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field, and right across from Menards. Ray and Cindy invite you to come on by. Hey, some good stuff that they're serving up over at Chick-fil-A right now. They got a new beverage out and a great sandwich. Again, lots of eats and treats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Serving up 3 squares, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 2 convenient drive-thrus. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, your exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Cruise the countryside in your Jayco with some great prices right now and financing packages from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And Taco John's of Cheyenne, where, yes, we have all of the locations of Taco John's up and running right now, but the South Greeley Highway is being rebuilt. So they have the food truck waiting for you over. Matter of fact, it was parked today over at the Outlaw Saloon, so you can enjoy Taco John's on the south side there with the food truck, and glad that they got out there. They're serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner out there as well. Taco John's of Cheyenne celebrating 50 years here in Wyoming, Cheyenne, and across the nation. We do thank them so much. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. Is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to the Nixter.
Local baseball from this past weekend. We'll recap Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Cheyenne Post 6. Friday, as we mentioned earlier, but again, as they took on Creighton Prep out in Omaha, Nebraska in that tournament, unfortunately lost to that team 4-0. Saturday's lone contest for Cheyenne Post 6 was against Brandon Valley out of South Dakota. Got that victory, however, 11-10 final in that one. Sunday's lone contest against Renner, South Dakota for Cheyenne Post 6. They picked up a victory in that one as well, 13-5. So with the weekend that was out in Omaha, Nebraska for Cheyenne Post 6, they are 30-13 overall. Cheyenne Mustangs, they were in action, at least had one cancellation on Friday for their Northern Colorado, at least Border War tournament here in town over at Powers Field. Saturday, they did have two contests, one against the Northern Colorado Silver team, where they got the victory 9-1 against that team. Game number 2 on Saturday against the Thunder Academy won that contest as well, 8-7. And Sunday's lone contest against the Slammers, unfortunately, lost that one 10-4. So with those at least wins losses for Cheyenne Mustangs, they are 13-15 overall. And also too, regarding more baseball on the collegiate side, Game 1 of the College World Series Finals between Michigan and Vanderbilt happening tonight in Omaha, Nebraska. 5 p.m. is when you can watch it, and you can watch it on ESPN.
Major League Baseball games getting underway when we get done. Blue Jays at the Yankees. In the Bronx, it will be the Mets and the Phils at Citizens Bank Ballpark. White Sox, Bo Sox at Fenway for this evening. Royals and the Indians at Progressive Field. 6 o'clock game will have the Cubs hosting the Bravos. 7 o'clock, 7:40 to be exact, at Chase. It will be the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, or it's only 102 degrees right now in Phoenix, Arizona. And for the Giants and the Rockies, they'll hook up at 8 o'clock. It'll be John Gray towing the rubber for Bud Black's team. Drew Pomerantz on the hill for San Francisco. That will be at Oracle Park. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi at Cheyenne. Coming up, we will chat with Chad Mathews, rodeo chairman for CFD, after these words.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Is the touchscreen on your phone or tablet cracked or broken? Buying a new device could cost up to $1,000. Or you could let the local experts at High West Digital Solutions save you hundreds of dollars. We can replace your touchscreen in as little as a day, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise, for today's sunshine, expect a daytime high of 73 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. For tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy with our low down to 47 degrees. For tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. We're calling for a daytime high of 77 with a chance for showers in the afternoon. And for Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Our low dropping down to 48 degrees.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Peroetti along with Nick Peroetti and our next guest. And last time I actually saw him, he was running up and down basketball courts wearing the zebra stripes, but it's nice to see him in a different hat, and that would be the CFD rodeo chairman.
If you want to get at him, if he said anything bad about you on air, I mean, here's your shot.
He knows I punished him every time. Anyway, Chad Mathews joins us, and we're so glad that he's coming in. And, you know, we're trying not to bring Chad in amidst the controversy that is right now, but I don't know how much your phones have been ringing, don't know how many emails you're getting right now, but we're starting to see people weigh in their opinions, whether it's good, we don't care that they're not coming, or, hey, we got a problem. So, Chad, enlighten us to the controversy that might be brewing. How does that sound?
All right. Hey, thanks, guys, for having us on. And, yeah, I used to love to run up and down the basketball floor, but my knees told me it was time to quit anyway, so I got them replaced and hung it up. But, hey, yeah, moving on to Cheyenne Frontier Days, we changed our format. We've got 85% of the fans that come to Cheyenne at Frontier Days they're not rodeo fans per se. This is either their first rodeo they've ever been to or the only one they ever go to. So with the way rodeo was set up, with the aggregate, the average, all that sort of thing, we wanted to put a format out there that was a little easier for them to understand and generate some electricity and energy around the rodeo and try to get people buying tickets and coming back. So we instilled a format that's a tournament-style rodeo. The big rodeos, Calgary, Houston, San Antonio, some of those others have proved that this works and drives energy. And the timing may not have been great for some of the Cowboys. They didn't have enough time, according to some of them, to get scheduled around everything we wanted to do. And the way this current format's set up, they were going to have to be in town a little bit longer than they wanted to or come back. So some of them have chosen to make business decisions that we certainly support. They're in it. It's a business for those guys as well as it is for us. So some of them are choosing not to show up here in a couple events, and we respect their decision. We'll welcome them back next year when they show up again, we hope. So.
Hey, and Chad, and I've been a part of this for a long time, having worked there for many years as well. A lot of these Cowboys, as well as Cowgirls, they may perform in the afternoon. They're boarding a plane. They're headed to Oklahoma, Salinas, whatever the case may be. So they're trying to get in as much. I mean, this is their big payday event of the year, even though we host the daddy of them all. But some of these guys are looking for the bigger paychecks. And, I don't think anybody can fault them for that. And I'm glad that you mentioned about the rodeo fan because, again, the season ticket holder at CFD is your true rodeo fan. They've been there. They know how the format is. They've seen all of the events that go on. But again, we make our dollars by tourists coming to town.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to, we want these guys to understand that they're the rodeo fan that shows up to understand what's going on. And in the past, as you know, Larry and Nick, if you rode on the first Saturday and were 78 points, that may be really good on that Saturday, but it may not get you back to the finals. And people don't know. They may walk out and think that they saw somebody that won a bunch of money, and really they didn't. And now they'll be able to know, because the top 4 bronc riders, bull riders, whatever, each day are going to move on, and they're going to get paid that day and move on into the semifinals. The timed events work a little bit different, but it'll certainly make it so everybody understands what's happening day to day as we move forward.
And again, nothing wrong with it, keeping fan at least kind of friendly, or at least understanding, kind of keeping it simple, where, we see in other sporting events where, rules and at least obligations are a little muddled, and hey, we don't even know what's going on. So at least certainly respect that of Cheyenne Frontier Days, of looking out for even the average Joe fan walking up and going, okay, this is, I can understand, I get what's happening. Oh, and that's my winner right now for that event. But regarding these, at least individuals, these cowboys that did kind of go to social media and kind of give their opinion and talk about, hey, I'm going to move on, kind of take my ball and go home, so to speak, or go to another event. For you, whether it is you as the rodeo chairman or any other individuals regarding Cheyenne Frontier Days, has there been any outreach to these individuals in kind of at least almost a heart-to-heart, talk-to-talk with these at least individuals to kind of get a full understanding of, okay, so that's what you meant by your social media post, and kind of basically get an explanation on both sides.
And you hope they reconsider.
Well, certainly we don't like having any of them skip our performance, but it's also not the first time it's happened. 3 or 4 years ago, they were in the ERA and they weren't here as well, so that part of it. As far as reaching out, right now, the social media stuff didn't happen until after entries had closed, so it was too late at that point to change anything if we were inclined to. We certainly have talked to a few of them off and on. They know Tom and our arena director, Frank, and there have been phone calls back and forth to at least visit about what it is, but I think everybody kind of understands what's going on. Their big thing is that they think that the time constraints for what the money isn't really what they wanted to do, and with this didn't drive the format change, but in conjunction, you guys know we got a new TV contract with RFD TV. That allowed us to put 30% more in the purse, which this format also drives a little bit of a change in that we pay more guys every performance that are there. There's going to be more people walk out of Cheyenne Frontier Days with a check this year than have in the past. And with that extra $15,000, some of those guys think it got split up too much, and that certainly is their opinion. We respect that, and we'll visit with them after the show.
Absolutely. But it's good to hear at least more monies and more opportunities for folks to make money here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. But, as we look back at those individuals who, again, as you mentioned, missed that kind of registration date, so to speak, again, unfortunately can't compete this year for Frontier Days, again, have opportunities throughout the nation to do whatever event during that time, if that is available to them. But, the question is, at least for you, Chad, do we have individuals in the back end, or were there at least plenty of participants that this isn't going to be shortchanged for this tournament style? Do we have enough, at least, for incidents like this to happen for Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got plenty of competitors entered in each event that it's not going to change our format any at all, and you're not going to see anything different with the lower number of contestants than what you'd have seen had we had the 150 that we invite every year.
You look at the abundancy of contestants we have, and again, Cheyenne Frontier Days draws them from all over, where we have to put a lot of our contestants in slack, which is 7 o'clock in the morning at the rodeo arena. And again, a lot of fans don't even know that we have rodeo going on at 7 o'clock in the morning. A lot of these guys really we don't see until Championship Sunday.
Correct. That's absolutely correct, Larry. And we're still going to have, we're calling it qualifying rounds now, because in the past I heard people on the street think that slack was a qualifying round. And again, going back to that old style rodeo thing, it wasn't. They were competing against the guys that were competing in front of the crowds in the week. Well, now it is a qualifying event. Those guys, we're going to take the top 40 timed event guys out of each of the slack performances. So each event in slack, the top 40 that will then move into the performances to then go into our tournament style format.
And I, again, whether I like it or not, that's here nor there. My point is, I hear Frontier Days is joining others. Now, my next question is, how close is it to being NFR?
What's your question?
Well, as we're going with this tournament style, would that tournament style be apropos at NFR, or again, we just have just the top Cowboys and they just go right after each other in that? It actually is a tournament style, isn't it? At NFR,
the NFR kind of is, other than you've only got 15 guys and they're all going to keep riding each day, and so you get back into the average and all that sort of thing. So no, it's not really the NFR, but then again, with the contestant numbers that we're going to put in a performance and the excitement level we hope to generate with that tournament style, and knowing that you need to be 81 points to be fourth place and move on, it's going to be the same type of energy, but not the exact same format.
And we're getting to when CFD is in action, we're in the middle of state fairs and rodeos across the U.S. And I know that from being from California years ago, up and down the coast, that there's rodeo action going on all the time. Is this going to be a national trend? I mean, again, if CFD throws their hat in, and this is the daddy of them all, that ought to throw some flags up to other big rodeos that I'll just throw Paso Robles out, for example, in San Luis Obispo, that, hey, San Luis Obispo County, that, hey, this is what they're doing in the Midwest. Maybe we should get on board with this as well.
And we can't speak for other rodeo committees by any means, but people are watching to see how this goes and if it works as well for us as it has the other shows that we mentioned earlier. Calgary's one in the summer that actually does a tournament style and has been very successful. The other 3 or 4 we mentioned are all winter rodeos. So this summer thing is a little bit newer, but yeah, there's people going to pay attention and see how it works.
Regarding this tournament, is this a kind of trial for Cheyenne Frontier Days, or is this something that for the rodeo that is kind of a commitment for a long time for Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Well, in order to tell if it really was a success, we're going to have to see how ticket sales go. And so, next year, just a one-year deal, I think, would be a little short-sighted. We at least have to give it a try if we can. If we can make it work and get some things, there's some tweaking going to be done at the end of the year, I'm sure, just like we do every year. We look at the rodeo and see what we can do. But I think it's got to be 2 or 3 years at the very least to see how it works.
So, and again, we kind of chuckle here where supposedly the top 50 are not going to appear in Cheyenne. And then I know from the social media, they said, well, number 51 will become number 1. Again, do you think with those that decide not to come, that they shortchange themselves, because we do divvy out, in addition to paychecks, there's points that go towards NFR?
Well, yeah, those paychecks are the points that go towards NFR, and we've got $65,000 in the pot plus those guys' entry fees. That those guys that are outside the top 50 are probably not all that disappointed that they don't have to compete against some of those guys in order to get a paycheck.
And it'll make a difference. Yeah, nice little opportunity for those who are, again, not in that top 50 to kind of showcase their skills and their talent in front of at least new eyes here in Cheyenne with Frontier Days coming up, again, as we're about a month away from the event, at least getting underway. But regarding this situation.
Less than a month.
Yeah, it'll be here quicker than we think. But
we're going to start running barrels July 12th.
Oh, boy, it's almost here. But regarding this whole situation, again, as we're not trying to make it a controversy, but it is something that is kind of blowing up, whether it is here in town, across the state, or at least in the kind of rodeo community. Has this painted a kind of bad picture for Cheyenne Frontier Days? Has it been a negative spotlight for Frontier Days, or is it something where CFD has been able to kind of put a PR, not so much spin, but at least say, hey, respect that they're moving on, but we're going to move on in this direction, and hey, we encourage fans to come on out and check out this tournament. Has it been a bad kind of PR nightmare for CFD?
Well, anytime you get hammered on social media, it's not ideal, but by the same token, again, the fans that buy the most of our tickets, they're not paying attention to this, and they really aren't going to know the difference anyway of who we're talking about. So, I don't think we've had to put a spin on it, so to speak. It is what it is. We respect their decision. We hope they respect ours, and then we'll meet in the middle sometime in the near future.
Well, Chad, we're not going to beat a dead horse, so to speak. Don't want to get in trouble with the PETA folks here when I say that. Let's move on real quick with rodeo. And again, this is what Frontier Days is all about. The added bonus is the carnival. The added bonus is the parades, the free pancake breakfast. but Frontier Days is all about rodeo. And again, you're the chairman of rodeo, so there's a lot of pressure with you and your crew to make sure this comes off as per normal. But again, even with this little, I guess, fork in the road, so to speak, what do we got planned for events this year, and how do you see things going, and with contestants as well?
We're going to have. We're the largest outdoor rodeo in the world. We're going to have over 1,200 contestants, regardless of this little fork in the road. But something we're really looking forward to is, for the first time since the early 2000s, we've added a full-fledged event to Cheyenne Frontier Days. Last couple of years, we brought in the little kids with the bull riding and the little bareback riders. This year, the ladies are going to be breakaway roping in our arena, and it has had fabulous turnout for that. We're going to have about 245 of them are going to rope their breakaway calves Thursday morning, the 18th, I believe, and we're going to bring the top 40 into the performances just like the other timed events, and they're competing for a buckle and a saddle and everything else like everybody else in the PRCA part of the show. And if you haven't seen it, it's a really, really exciting event. That's quick, it's fast, and it's easy to understand again, which helps us out in that regard, and we're really looking forward to that.
At my times working for Frontier Days, and it was always my pleasure to say, welcome to the $1 Million Rodeo, but we've really increased that now. What, $1.5 million now, or even higher?
1.3 is what the number is right now when last we looked at it. So yeah, we're still over $1 million, and that's a big feather in our cap. That's a big deal.
And again, and we kind of rag about it here, just, especially with Wyoming Cowboys football and being on the national spotlight with television, whether it's ESPN, but it's the Mountain West Conference that dictates when the Cowboys play. But you have a set television contract where they don't dictate. You still do your rodeo on times.
Absolutely. They're going to broadcast on our schedule. We're not holding our rodeo up or moving it to the night or anything like that to accommodate the TV. They're coming in. They just want to have us on TV and broadcast not only our rodeo, but they're going to have some spots from Cheyenne. So showcasing the city on a national spotlight, it's going to be an awesome deal to have TV here.
And my final thought here, and again, we want to thank Chad for joining us, unless you have something else to, Nick. But, Monday night, Tuesday night is always a night that we don't do concerts. We go back into the rodeo arena. Tell us a little bit what we got on tap this year.
That's going to be the PBR guys are coming to town. We've had CBR in the past, and they
what's the difference? Again, for us that know rodeo, PBR is professional bull riders. CBR is
championship bull riders.
And are they part of the same union, or is this like NWA and WWE?
It actually is like NWA and WWE. It was two separate entities that eventually joined forces and made themselves one big one. And yeah, we're bringing the last Cowboy Standing PBR event to Cheyenne. It's going to be their finals. There's going to be 3 other events. They are in New York, LA, and Nashville, I believe, is where those were at. And we're going to host the finals, and it's going to be an exciting format. Again, something like a tournament. It's going to be, I don't know exactly the details. Those that are watching it on TV probably know more than me, but it's going to be a deal where they ride bulls until there's only one of them left riding bulls.
And my final thought for you, and again, we appreciate you joining us here in studio, talk about everything regarding Cheyenne Frontier Days. But as we talk about getting these fans in to understand these events, or at least these kind of fan-friendly tournament styles, or at least with the PBR, the bull riding events, at least at night, tickets. If folks listening in, tuning in right now, if they want to at least be a part of Cheyenne Frontier Days, are tickets available for a lot of the rodeo events for the days, for also to these night events, or is it pretty limited? And also, too, if there are tickets available, how do folks go about getting tickets?
You bet. You can go to the ticket. You can go to our website, cfdrodeo.com, and check on the tickets link there. Or the box office is 778-7222, and there are tickets available for everything except our sold-out concert of Post Malone on Thursday night.
Yeah, and if you give me a call, I've got Chad's personal cell phone, and he's got plenty of free time. No. Anyway, hey, Chad, we want to thank you so much for coming by. I do appreciate it, and again, looking forward to the 123rd Daddy Walsh,
yes,
Frontier
sir.
Days. So
Thank
again,
you, guys. We appreciate
it. Chad Mathews, again, rodeo chairman, joining us here on 1480 K. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more.
Summer is just beginning, and it's a great time to plan all your home improvement and remodeling projects. This is Lexi.
And this is Aaron from Platte Valley Bank. A home equity line of credit can help finance summer projects, but can also fund summer fun like a boat, ATV, or even a convertible.
Stop in either Cheyenne location and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Credit subject to approval. Certain restrictions apply.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day, at Windmill and Del Range.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
You're looking for fun and style? Then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Once again, thank you to Chad Mathews, just recently joined us, Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo Chairman. Thank you for the pins, too. Got to have my, let's see, 86, so this would be 34, 50.
Don't do math on there. But either way, again, you've been here for forever. So, but at least, again, yeah, appreciate Chad.
34th pin.
Good for you. Again, appreciate Chad at least talking about at least what has happened. Unfortunate for him. Again, first year as the rodeo chairman has to deal with this little bit of controversy. And again, looking at the story and hearing Chad's thoughts on everything, and us reading the articles and breaking down everything, it doesn't seem as big of a controversy as what it seems like in the media, or at least other entities are trying to make it out. It's something that I've said last week, and Chad kind of reiterated, and I again, we are both on that same level in agreement of, if you wonder how many of these fans, at least at CFD again, be curious about the numbers of how many fans in attendance are actually hardcore rodeo fans, know what is, know these entities, know these big names, know the rankings, and are out to watch that top-level talent, and how many of them are fresh faces that are going to enjoy this tournament style that, have at least we'll say are kind of the fringe fans, so to speak, or kind of introductory to rodeo and just want to say, hey, I was out at Cheyenne Frontier Days to be a part of it. Be interested to see of how big this is going to be an issue for CFD. Of are we going to see fans, as you mentioned, with season ticket holders? Is this going to be a trickle effect, or does this have some sort of ripple effect where we see other Cowboys, Cowgirls say, hey, all right, I'm going to join their coalition, drop out. You have those hardcore season ticket holders that go, well, the top level talent is not here at at least the daddy of them all. I'm not going to show up anymore because what's the point where I'm not going to see the best talent as I'm expecting here at CFD?
Well, that would be your local season ticket holder.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. I'd be interested to see what the ripple effect is in the stats post at least CFD this year. Of is this going to be is this a small stone that is eventually going to ripple out into bigger waves, so to speak, here in town with CFD?
After hearing Chad and what he has to say, and again, he's not so much towing the CFD line right now. I think he's probably right that the fringe fan. And I noticed this years ago, especially with all of the announcers that I worked with, Hadley Barrett, Justin McKee, I know two of those that I worked with. They are basically there explaining, teaching rodeo to the fans, especially when they're looking at the fans over in B stands, because, again, B and C stands, those are your visitors. And they're explaining what rodeo is all about, and they're teaching you the game of rodeo, the sport of rodeo. So with that being said, I think the fringe fan is not even going to know.
No, the fringe fan, other than reading the articles, is it something that's going to affect? I would like to think that it's not going to be a big issue of where, obviously with social media, you could pick up at least media articles online, read what is going on by simply searching just for Cheyenne Frontier Days, and I wouldn't doubt on most search engines, this little blurb that has come out is going to be at the top of that list. But as we talk about those fringe fans, is it something that's going to detract those to getting tickets, or at least see them kind of selling their tickets, or just kind of walking away from CFD altogether? I really don't think so. I don't think that also, at least breaking down, it is something where, yes, you want to see the top level talent, but it is something where if you can't come to agreement, hey, you have that right. It's kind of like what we see, with, for instance, again, college football of, hey, you want that top level talent, but if they're unhappy with your system, you're not getting them the starting role, whatever it may be, the reps. Hey, they have that opportunity to take their ball, go home, transfer to another school. Same with rodeo here, of what we're seeing of, all right, you're not happy with this format. You think you deserve this, or at least you should, out of respect, get more for your efforts of, again, with this brand new tournament style that is at least coming to Cheyenne Frontier Days, that has been around at least other rodeo events, whether it is in the States or up north, as Chad mentioned, up in Calgary. Hey, you have all that right. Doesn't sound like CFD at this point in time is going to at least budge or kind of at least give in to those said individuals that have kind of outcried on social media about this. And I think that's right. Again, CFD has all that right to do it. Again, they put on that event. They put on these rodeos. They are paying the competitors. They have every right to make their rules, make the tournament however they want, and do it their way.
Well, I think what they're trying to do as well, too, again, with the tournament style, they're trying to, again,
you're trying. I think honestly,
more,
with the tournament,
more people.
Yeah, I think
involved.
You're trying to sell out those stands completely. Get fans at least involved the entire week.
Same with the Cowboys as well too. They're trying to get more people involved in this thing, where there's going to be handing out more paychecks.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, you think about it, Nick. You win. That's the big bulk of your money.
Yeah.
And then if you are the goal winner, the first go-around or second go-around, whatever the case may be, you get a paycheck there too. But they're doing it in this tournament style. They're handing out more paychecks. This is what these Cowboys want. This is their time of year where they make some money, and Cowgirls as well. So, again, am I sold on this? I'm going to be I guess I'm going to look at it as a half glass, half full. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And those that are wanting to take their football and go home, go for it. I understand why you're angry. Don't get me wrong. But also, too, this is something new, and it's been tried, and it's passed the litmus test.
Well, in understanding from Chad, where hey, it's not going to be a one and done situation. It is almost a kind of trial event, so to speak, with CFD of will this work? Is this something they want to move in that direction? It is trying out at least this year to see what are the cause and effects, so to speak, of this tournament, especially with the crowds, with the competitors, with the payouts, and how it all affects everything. So be interested to see of just what happens post this Cheyenne Frontier Days, of what is the kind of at least remnants of all this that is happening right now regarding the rodeo. And then also, too, again, as I'm thinking about this, are these season ticket holders, or at least these diehard rodeo fans, that much hurt by seeing that these top-ranked competitors take their football and go home? Or is it something of, hey, I don't know this young guy or these lower-tier talent to showcase off what they can do right now? Is it something that, it'd be interesting to kind of get the pull of the nation, so to speak, of, are you really that upset that these competitors, these top-tier competitors have moved on, or are you excited to see this fresh batch that have kind of at least were granted this opportunity now to showcase off their talents that you may have not seen before?
And, and Nick, and I've seen rodeo since '86, since I've been here, okay? A lot of the cowboys that I knew back then have since retired, and then there's a new group. I mean, there's probably 2 generations of cowboys that have come up in my time that I've been here. So I would think the true rodeo fan is going to give this a chance, give it a shot.
And that's what, at least from our social media, whether it was Facebook or Twitter, a lot of fans, or at least a lot of our Cheyenne residents who are at least showing off that they're going to attend CFD, have kind of reiterated of, hey, to the top 50 that have moved on and gone off to other at least rodeo events and will be missing Cheyenne Frontier Days, good on them. We're excited to see that bottom 50, or at least these new talent to showcase off of what they can do here at the Daddy of Mall. That's what it sounds like, but again, that is just off of what I've seen on our social media. But is that kind of the pulse of the nation, so to speak, out there at the fairgrounds, there at Frontier Park? Is this something that you're upset by? Is this something you would want to refund your ticket because of? Or are you excited to watch someone that you may not know about?
Well, also, too, let's take a look at this. A lot of rodeos try to pattern their performances, that are bigger. We'll use the Greeley Stampede. They try to pattern what Cheyenne Frontier Days does, in addition to rodeo and all of the other things that go on. Well, Cheyenne Frontier Days is trying to get out of that let's not be stale mode. And they had the Cinch Rodeo. They brought in that all-star performance on Friday.
Keep things fresh. Don't be repetitive. Again, you want fans to keep on coming back.
They are voted the world's largest outdoor rodeo. So, again, to be the world's largest outdoor rodeo and keep that number 1 ranking, so to speak, you just can't sit on your laurels.
Yeah.
You need to do things that may not be popular with everybody, whether it's fans, whether it's community, whether it's the cowboys or cowgirls. But the thing is, like Chad mentioned, they're going to have an overflow of contestants, because I guarantee you, Nick, you can go with me any morning at 7 o'clock and watch Slack in the rodeo arena, and there is a bunch of cowboys performing.
Which, again, Slack is free, isn't it?
That's one of the benefits of Cheyenne Frontier Days. That is absolutely free. Now, you're not going to see bull riding.
No.
You're going to see, the calf ropers. You're going to see the steer ropers.
Yeah.
You're going to see tie-down roping, that type of deal. Things that are being brought up in this tournament style.
Yeah.
So, again, Cheyenne Frontier Days is trying to still stay the innovator. But, again, they're also keeping an eye on what's going on in Calgary.
Well,
the Stampede is huge.
If anything, it's kind of like on parallel, and not to compare or at least, put us on the same level as CFD, but again, of where, what we've done with KRAE have kind of moved it into the 21st century, added new technological kind of advances, or at least new ways to at least consume content here on 1480 KRAE with the web streams, with the live streams. CFD, in the same respect as a business, they need to, again, as you mentioned, keep it fresh. Look at new ideas, look at new events. As Chad mentioned, again, they are bringing in a new event as well this year, along with also too this new tournament style. Again, they are looking at innovation. They are looking at, again, to separate themselves and if not be the leader, and for those to follow behind them of going, this is how rodeo is going to be. People enjoy this way, and others should follow suit.
Well, remember too, rodeo's 19th century, according to this pin. Okay, so they were running 1800s rodeo. They were running rodeo in the 1900s. They're still running rodeo in the 2000s. Yeah. Well, what you did 30, 40 years ago is still apropos, but things have changed.
Yeah.
Like you said, everything's changed. But, the sport of rodeo, to a certain degree,
it still has it's a core. It still
has not changed, but there are additions to rodeo. And again, too, the monies that are being handed out now, again, like I told Chad, I remember, and matter of fact, you were probably, 20 years ago, we'll say, I was all excited. Hey, this is the first $1 million rodeo. And then all of a sudden now it's up to $1.3 million. That may not sound a lot like a baseball contract, but to these cowboys and cowgirls going to the pay window and cashing a check, for $15,000, $16,000, $30,000, that is a lot of cabbage.
Yeah.
And again, this is why people come back to Cheyenne Frontier Days year in, year out, because this, during the summer run, is one of the highest paying rodeos around. All right, we do need to take a time out. We are going to come back with more after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater. Or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, sunshine. Expect a daytime high of 73 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. For tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly cloudy with our low down to 47 degrees. For tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. We're calling for a daytime high of 77 with a chance for showers in the afternoon. And for Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Our low dropping down to 48 degrees.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, amidst all of the home runs, the strikeouts, the wins, the losses, the blown saves, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, managers still have to meet with the press after a ball game. Well, Mickey Callaway, the skipper of the New York Mets, had a little issue in his locker room. Matter of fact, I guess a little brush up, I guess, with beat writer Tim Healy of Newsday occurred in the post-game conference after the Mets blew a lead and ended up losing 5-3 to the Cubs at Wrigley. There was no physical contact between the manager and the beat writer.
Yeah.
The incident followed a tense post-game conference when reporters asked Callaway repeatedly about his decision to stick with reliever Seth Lugo during the 8th inning instead of going to closer Edwin Diaz. Lugo allowed a go-ahead 3-run homer to Javier Baez. So you can understand, and again, our job, media, we want to know what's the reasoning.
Yeah.
Manager's pretty ticked off at himself for going as long as he did, and he's probably blaming himself for the loss more than Seth Lugo giving up the 3-run homer. So you're you're kind of ticked off as it is, and you got to meet the press.
Again, you got a short leash at that point in time where, again, the loss is not good. Again, decision-making wasn't the best, especially at that level, again, with this team, with the New York Mets, as much as they are going through just a whirlwind of emotions and just everything to deal with a part of that team. You got to understand, like any other head coach, especially in the pros, hey, your job's on the line. If you make a costly mistake or if you're not meeting expectations, you may not even have a job, at least for the rest of the season. If front office or ownership says, I don't like this direction, bye-bye.
Well, and again, Jason Vargas also got into the fray. And again, there was no exchange of fisticuffs, whatever the case may be. Restraint was more of the word. But New York Mets manager Mickey Callaway continued to have issues with reporters today after being fined for a confrontation with the reporter in the clubhouse yesterday. When he initially met with reporters today, Callaway offered no apology for the incident, calling it a misunderstanding. Obviously, for things like this to happen, it's always a misunderstanding. I'm sure there was no malintent by either. It's just something that just happened, and we have to move forward. Later, the manager added, Billy Martin punched the reporter one time. It's part of the game. Hey, I'm a passionate guy about baseball. I'm a tough competitor. Sometimes you'll see it with the umpires. Sometimes you'll see it with the players. This is the thing is, you guys don't need to see it directed toward you guys. You guys have a job to do. I understand that. Always understood that, and you guys don't need to see that it's directed toward you. That's the number one thing. About 90 minutes later, Callaway brought the media back into his office to formally apologize for what happened and note that he had apologized to the reporter involved in private.
And blah, blah, blah. Again, other than that, I mean, it is not a big issue. You know, we've had other, again, as you mentioned with the Billy Martin situation, you've had, not even in baseball, you had it in other sports where, you know, some coaches do go off, have little tirades. It happens, again, when you're frustrated, or at least you find yourself in kind of a rut with your team where your job is on the line. Again, you are getting evaluated by wins and losses. Again, that starts to eat at you and creep in your mind, and where you kind of dig your hole. And it is also, too, where you look at some of these kind of post-game, at least, conferences with coaches, whether it is out here with the University of Wyoming and the national spotlight, whether it is the New York Mets, football, basketball, whatever it may be, postseason, regular season, preseason. It does feel like there are some reporters out there. Not all. Again, there's probably a select few. It's probably a small percentage, but it does feel like as you watch and listen to some of these, post-game interviews.
Dumb questions.
Yeah, they ask dumb questions. They ask also, too, kind of these prodding questions of, almost to kind of instigate, essentially, of going, hey, I'm going to poke the bear. I already know you're angry, and I'm just basically doing this to kind of get that hit piece, so to speak, of, he exploded at this at least conference because of this.
Well, and again, earlier in the day, Mets general manager Brody Van Wagenen announced that Callaway and pitcher Jason Vargas, who was also involved in the incident, had been fined. The GM did not comment when asked whether the Mets considered suspending Callaway or Vargas. Again, here's the reporters trying to make this into a big mountain instead of a molehill. The Mets do not expect Major League Baseball to further punish either Callaway or Vargas, according to Van Wagenen.
I'm surprised the Mets just, again, where and we in the media, or at least us, we understand, again, with the press passes that they can be revoked at any point in time. Again, those universities, those programs, those sporting, at least, venues have that right to revoke it and basically deny you access to locker rooms, to the, at least, events altogether. I'm surprised the Mets have not just kind of nipped it in the butt, so to speak, and just go, hey, you're not coming back. It's going to be an issue. Just, again, nothing against you, but if it's going to be an issue, just no.
How much press do you think that would have got if it would have been the
That would have been a lot of,
it's New York. It is the Mecca.
Yeah, but are they really focused on the Mets, or is it something?
It doesn't matter. You have all of the major papers and media from New York that goes and covers the Mets as well as the Yankees. And again, that's
all I'm saying, Mets, get a spine and just kick them out then. Hey, if it's going to be an issue for your manager who needs to focus on winning, at least for that ball club, kick the reporter out. Just deny him the access. Why not?
Yeah. Well,
you have the right to do that as a club.
Yeah, they do. They can revoke.
I mean, you already got bad PR.
Charter anytime.
You already got bad PR as is. You're the New York Mets.
All right, we got to wrap things up here. And again, thank you to our guests that joined us earlier, Ty Lain, along with Jackson Hesford. And in the 4 o'clock hour, we had a nice conversation with Chad Mathews, Rodeo chairman of CFD. Coming up this